States are using new census demographic data to redraw the boundaries of their congressional maps. It is an extremely consequential process that will shape the next decade in Congress. The final makeup of these districts will be key in the battle for control of the House next year. As the Washington Post points out, the party that controls redistricting holds considerable power over whether a state's policies will actually match up with the politics of its population. In Texas, for example, the Post reports, quote, demographic changes in Texas point to a more progressive state, but Republican-controlled redistricting makes it unlikely policy decisions will follow suit. Washington Post graphics reporter Harry Stevens wrote a computer program analyzing these redistricting plans, and he joins me now. Harry, welcome. I will not ask you about the formula upon which you decided to put this together. That would be way outside of my area of expertise. But the census and redistricting, in all seriousness, are fascinating to me because essentially these are stories about money and power and the distribution of those things. So, Harry, you've broken down 3 different states. Let's start with Oregon, which is about to get a new congressional seat. What has been the difference in strategy between Republicans and Democrats there?
The Oregon case is really interesting because unlike some states, we actually have 2 maps to compare. So both the Democratic caucus in the Oregon House and the Republican caucus released maps. And so by comparing the maps and looking at them at the same time, it helps to reveal the map makers' preferences. And it's very clear that the Democratic map drawers in the Oregon House were trying to make more safe seats for Democratic congressional candidates and to basically put all of the, or a lot of Republicans out into the Eastern District, which is in the 2nd District of Oregon. Meanwhile, the Republican map is just trying to make it so that there are more competitive districts along the West and make it so that they might have a play there. And if we were only to have the Democrats release a map, for example, we would have no way to really get a sense that you could have an alternative map that would have more competitive districts along the Pacific Coast.
Well, next, Indiana. Republicans control the state legislature there. How are they leveraging that control for political advantage?
So Democrats in Indiana and Democrats watching Indiana were very concerned that Republicans controlling the legislature there would basically gerrymander Democrats almost out of existence. And that's not quite what has happened here. So there is a district sort of north of Indianapolis, the 5th district, and it's showing up gray there on the map on the left side in the current map. And that map, that district is sort of a close district, and it's controlled by Victoria Sparks. Now, in April, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee put that district on a list of districts across the country that they thought they would be competitive in. But now this new map proposal, and these are just proposals, so nothing's final yet, but the new map proposal released by Republicans in the Indiana State Legislature would essentially shift that district so that it would become much safer for Victoria Sparks. So it would go from a district where in the 2020 election, Trump beat Biden by about 2 points to one where Trump beat Biden by like 16 points. But at the same time, if you look up by Gary, Democrats were just terrified that Republicans were going to basically draw that district into oblivion, and that's not what happened. So I guess you could say it's a bit of a mixed bag for Democrats in Indiana.
Yeah, but you bring up a really good point, and that is that these are proposals at this point, and they could change perhaps substantially, right, Harry?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So every state has its own redistricting process. And this is something that sort of hard to wrap your head around if you're just learning about this stuff for the first time. And it really varies from state to state. And we're getting map proposals sort of staggered over time. So we got a few from some earlier states. But basically, they just need to have their new districts in time for the filing deadline for primaries for the 2022 elections. And so this is going to drag out over the course of several months, and there's likely to be, more maps and then ultimately votes and potentially court litigation. So this is a long process.
All right, well, our time is running short here, but let's quickly look at Colorado, a state that is also gaining a congressional seat. You write that in spite of controlling the legislature there, Democrats cannot draw politically advantageous maps. Why not?
So Colorado is a really interesting state. It's one of 7 states that has what are called independent redistricting commissions. And so what's happened here is the legislature has basically ceded its power to draw, to gerrymander maps that are advantageous for the party in power. And they've said, we're going to create a commission that's nonpartisan, that's going to try to draw maps that best represent the interests of voters in the state, that best represent the distribution of voters in our state, and that try to keep certain communities of interest together and balance a number of different factors. And so the Independent Redistricting Commission in Colorado has released 2 maps so far, and you can see that, even when you're trying to be nonpartisan, when you're trying to best represent the voters in the state, there's lots and lots of different maps that you can come up with. And so, in one map, they've basically drawn Lauren Boebert's 3rd district to make it much more competitive. In the other map, they've made Lauren Boebert's 3rd district much safer for her. And so depending upon what they choose to do in the end, that could really affect how people in the western part of the state are represented.
All right, final 30 seconds here, Harry. Quickly, what do you see as the key states to watch in the coming months?
Well, the big one coming up even this week is going to be Texas. So the Texas Republicans are going to be releasing a map. Our sources tell us sometime this week. And the Democrats who are watching Texas closely are basically worried that the Republican state legislature is going to gerrymander them into oblivion. Most of the growth, so Texas has 2 new congressional districts for this cycle. Most of the population growth is from Latinos and other voters of color. And so it remains to be seen whether the new maps will represent that type of growth or whether the maps won't.
So much at stake when it comes to this issue of redistricting. Harry Stevens. Harry, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great being here.